Hey y'all, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and I was doing a project for church to make little tags for some candy to support our students that are taking exams, a school that we sponsor, and I messed up. So I didn't have the pen in on my Cricut properly. So some of them got a little messed up. So I have 8 of them, and I thought, wow, isn't there a yellow swap coming up? And so I'm going to use these. You know, we like to use scraps, so I'm going to consider these scraps, and hope that doesn't bother anybody. But here is my plan. I have a plan. I'm going to do all sorts of things to these stars. So let me show you what I've pulled out. This is getting messy. So I have the stars. I'm going to work on the back side, obviously. They're all different, not salvageable. So I have 8 stars. Guess I'll put them all up and down. And I've pulled out some pops of color, which are like Nouveau drops. I just got these yellow Sizzix sequin mixes. So this is kind of an orangey, real pretty. This is yellow and it's stars. So I think that's a winner for sure. Got some little beads. Let's see what else I have. And these are little hearts. Some of those may go on. And then these are more pearlized, little big and small circles. So I don't know if I'll get all those on there. I might just do those and those. I might just do the stars. I don't know. So those are a possibility. I have rusty hinge. So the theme is mellow yellow. So you're supposed to do mostly yellow stuff. But I want to add some distressing on here as well. And so I pulled out this Bo Bunny newsprint stamp, which I like. I think I may have used it once. I don't know. But we're going to use that with the rusty hinge. And then I have this stencil with stars on it. Oh, look, more stars. And so I'm going to do the pops of color through that on top of it. So it's just going to be a layered embellishment. And then I'll find a ribbon that goes in it. So let's see what we can do. We'll do one as sort of a test case. And, you know, I'm not, oh, maybe I will put it on a block of some description. Except I kind of like the idea of, I think I might do that instead. I don't know, what do you guys think? How would you do this? That doesn't quite, oh, it probably will fit on there. This is already helter-skelter, you know, not straight. So I'm gonna see how it works. And if I don't like this, then I'll pick it up and roll it. So I think the first step is to do the stamping. And I'll also ink some edges. So let me find my brown ink. I think that might, I think the orange might work for that. So let's see. And I'm just going to use the Distress Oxide. It doesn't always stamp super crisp, but that's not the look I'm going for, right? So let's see if I can. Get both 2 at a time on there. Okay, I'm liking it. Let's maybe get a little bit more over here. All right, maybe a little on this end. Okay, cool.
All right, so I was pretty happy with that. So I stamped the rest of them and just adding several layers of the stamps, honestly. On a couple of them, I decided to try the rolling method, and this is where I did that, and it worked pretty well too. But I think that having it flat on there was honestly a little bit easier to manage. But I started just pressing the pieces into that. And that was a little bit easier to control what went where. So really happy with that. So this is so far 2 layers. So the requirement on Ginger's Corner for embellishment swaps is 2 layers. So I could be done here, but of course I'm not. We're going to add more. So the cut paper is 1 layer, the inking is another layer. Now I'm going to add a 3rd layer using those Nuvo drop things. They work great through a stencil. So I'm going to pull my stencil out. And I'm not trying to get full coverage or perfect stars out of this. I'm trying to make it look a little sketchy, a little distressed looking. And I can do 2 at a time, so I'm just putting some drops on the stencil part. Then I take my spatula, little spreader tool, and trying not to get too much all over my desk. And then I just set those aside to dry. And I didn't do a super thick layer, and so they did dry really actually much faster than I anticipated. So head over to Ginger's Corner if you're interested in joining a swap. This one, signups will be open for a day, I think, maybe 2 days, a day and a half-ish, starting May 1st, which should be tomorrow. And then you get assigned to a team, and you get them in the mail by, I think, the 15th of the month, and then you'll get a whole bunch of fun stuff in the mail. Everybody else's interpretation of Mellow Yellow. And because, especially the color themes, you get a huge variety of different stuff. So we're going to let those dry. I'm going to go off and clean those things. And now everything's dry, and it's time to add some bling. So I just put some of those star embellishments, and I'm trying to make sure I get 3, I think, big stars on each one, 2 or 3 big stars, and then several small stars. And I'm just putting them in areas that don't have the embossing, the stenciled work, just between those. So we're just adding bling. I'm trying to make it not too much of a pattern. Yeah, so it looks a little random. And I do end up going back and adding just a little bit more, a few more tiny ones off camera. And we're about to go into my real-time voice and impressions so you can get a close-up look at one of them.
right, I'm finished. I did end up adding some of these little tiny round ones. This color's called limoncello. Oh, it's all limoncello. That's the mix. So there's some little teeny tiny ones in there, so I added those for a little extra sparkle because they are faceted. So I think those are real cute. This, I had 3 choices of ribbon. This is way too bright. This I don't think I have enough of. So I had a little bit of this. I think it's Stampin' Up probably. So that's what I'm going to use for the ribbon. Which way do I want to do this? I think I want to do it. I think I want to do it this way. Oops. No, I like it the other way. So there you have it, 8 swaps, all created from a mistake. But I think they're super cute. So go over to Ginger's Corner and sign up for a swap. Thanks a lot, you guys.